Weighing in at an average of 3 pounds in the normal adult, the brain is the most complex organ in the universe. It takes over 20 years for the brain to fully develop, with a processing power and information storage capacity unparalleled by even the most sophisticated computer. In this course, we will explore the brain as it relates to topics that are of interest to psychologists. It is important to remember that biological psychology is a point of view that maintains that all thoughts, behaviors, and emotions are a result of activity within defined neural systems. For example, when we ask the question, "What is an emotion?" we attempt to answer it by examining systems in the brain and body that appear to regulate emotions, their expressions, and their adaptive significance. We won't have time to fully explore all of the many fascinating topics that are covered in your book. However, we will explore topics that are central to the field of biological psychology and provide you with a solid foundation for further exploration. To aid you in mastering the material in the course, we have provided a vast array of adjunctive material that can be found in course resources and in each of the 4 units. For example, each unit contains custom audiovisual presentations that highlight essential concepts from the assigned reading. The full-length PowerPoint presentations that have been provided by the publisher can also be found in course resources, should you wish to save them to your computer. In addition, each unit contains animations and activities such as key term flashcards and interactive exercises in which you can build your own neuron, map receptive fields, or engage in coloring activities. Regardless of whether you learn best by reading, by listening, or by doing, there are multiple resources to engage all of your senses. This course is divided into 4 units, 1 unit for each week of the course. In Unit 1, we will begin by looking at some of the major issues that biological psychologists study, such as the role of heredity and environment. We will then explore the gross anatomy or structure of the brain. This will provide you with the foundation for understanding the remainder of the course. After looking at the brain as a whole and the many systems that make up the brain, we will move to a more microscopic level and look at the individual cells that make up structures of the brain. In Unit 2, we will begin by exploring the way in which individual nerve cells send and receive information to one another. The information processing capacity is the most powerful and unique feature of brain function and is carried out by billions of neurons. Within this context, we will look at the chemical events that are essential to the language of the brain, as well as the ways in which drugs can alter the brain's communication system. The second half of this unit is devoted to the study of brain development. Truly a fascinating phenomena. As you will see, while most brain development occurs during the fetal period, development continues to some extent throughout our lives and forms the basis of what is known as brain plasticity, or the ability of the brain to change as a result of our individual life experiences. a truly amazing process. In Unit 3, we will cover 3 broad topics: the visual system, sleep, and reproduction. In each case, we will study what is known about the way in which neural systems mediate each of these complex functions. For example, how does the brain convert light energy into a language that can be understood by neurons? Why do we need sleep? And what is the biological function of sleeping? What is the role of hormones in the regulation of sexual and reproductive behaviors? What are the variations in sexual behaviors? And is there a known biological basis for such variations? I think you will be really intrigued by what biological psychologists have to say. In Unit 4, we cover emotions, cognitions, and psychopathologies. When discussing emotions, we will not only attempt to define what an emotion is, but we'll also examine the concept of stress and the impact of stress on both physical and psychological well-being. The chapter on cognition is a fascinating one. Here, we will look at the biological basis of language and examine whether or not other animals are capable of using it. We will also tackle the difficult notion of consciousness. What is consciousness anyway? Is it merely a byproduct of brain activity? Do other animals experience consciousness? Finally, the unit concludes with the study of mood disorders and schizophrenia.